Chapter 6 Amateur Radio Operating Procedure. It is common in quarters to avoid transmitting on a frequency that is currently in use while tuning it up. When tuning up, it's best to use a dummy load. Always monitor frequency before transmitting a signal. Amateurs carefully interfere with communications because poor operating practice is frowned upon by amateur community. Since amateur bands are crowded, some consideration of other amateurs should be extended. It is not a good procedure to hog a frequency with long-winded, one-sided conversation. Short, brief communications will permit maximum use of frequency. Always permit opportunity for another station break-in. And conditions are poor and difficult or is encountered in receiving. A good practice delay transmission until conditions are more favorable. Station identification should be made clearly, distinctly, so unnecessary repetition call letters is avoided to enable the other station clearly identify all calls. In order to prevent interference, give others opportunity to use amateur bands unnecessary or cute remarks while on the air. The Q signal. Over the years, Q signal has been developed. The signals are merely abbreviations frequently used terms having same meanings internationally by using the common use Q signals. What is the name of your station? The answer and advice of the name of my station is. Will you tell me your exact frequency? Your exact frequency is in kilohertz or megahertz. Does my frequency vary? Frequency varies. How is my tone transmission? The tone of your transmission is. What readability signals are those? The readability of your signal are those is. Are you busy? I'm busy. I'm busy with. Please do not interfere. Are you being interfered with? I'm being interfered with. Are you troubled static? I'm troubled by static. Shall I increase power? Increase power. Shall I decrease power? Decrease power. Shall I send faster? Words per minute. Shall I send more slowly? Send more slowly. Words per minute. Shall I stop sending? Stop sending. Have anything for me? I have nothing for you. Shall I inform you that you're calling on kilohertz? Please inform me that I'm calling on blank kilohertz. When will you call me again? I'll call you again at blank hours. What is my turn relates to communication? Your turn is no, or according to any other indication relates to communication. Who is calling me? You are being called by. What is the strength of my signal? The strength of your signal is. My signal is fading. Your signals are fading. Is my key defective? Your key is defective. Can you hear me here between your signals? Can I hear between my signals? Can you acknowledge the receipt? Shall I repeat last communication which I sent you or some previous communication? Repeat last communication you sent to me. Communication number. Do you hear call sign on kilohertz or megahertz? I do hear you on call sign on kilohertz or megahertz. Can you communicate with me directly or by relay? I can communicate with you directly or relay through. Will you relay to? I will relay to. So I send a replay on this frequency. Shall I send a reply? Shall I send a reply on this frequency? Send a reply on frequency kilohertz, megahertz. Shall I send a series of V's voltage signals on this frequency? VS frequency. Will you send on this frequency? I'm going to send on this frequency. Will you listen to call sign on kilohertz, megahertz? I am listening to call sign kilohertz, megahertz. Shall I change my transmission to another frequency? Change your transmission to another frequency on kilohertz, megahertz. Shall I send each word or group more than once? Send each word or group twice. What is your position or location? My position location is. What is the correct time? The correct time is in hours. These amateur communication considerable time. These amateur communication consider time saved because of the brevity of the clarity of the signal. You should memorize the meanings of the Q signal so that you can use them on your own transmission after receiving your novice license. These FCC exams may have a question or two about Q signals. Table 6.1 lists most commonly Q signals. Which is Q signal means the question. Well, the Q signal means as an answer or device. A customary send a question mark after the Q signal is if the question RST reporting or RST readability signal strength or tone. Readability is given the numbers 1 through 5. 1 is unable to read, 2 can barely copy a few words, but most words below noise level. 3 can copy with great trouble. 4 can copy almost no trouble. 5 can copy with no trouble. Signal strength is given in the numbers 1 through 9 as follows: extremely weak signal, very weak signal, fair signal, reasonably good signal, fairly strong signal, extremely strong signal. Tone is reported in numbers 1 through 9 as follows: update included 60 hertz broad, very harsh sounding, very rough AC broad, and very harsh. 3 harsh, unfiltered, birectified AC tone. 4 rough tone but has some slight degree of filtering. 5 filtered rectified tone must contain strong ripples. 6 although filtered have some degree of ripple. Almost pure tone, almost slight degree of ripple. Almost perfect tone except the extreme slight degree of modulation. Pure tone, no degradation whatsoever. Its tone clips of the key transition. The letter K is adding to the RST report. Readable signal strength report, and the chirps are present on either start or finish of the tone. Letter C is added to the report. If both clicks and chirps are present, then both C and K are added. A reasonable good signal can be copied with almost no trouble, but both clicks and chirps as pure tone would receive a readable signal strength report of 459 CK. Note the tone report, pure tone, no degradation whatsoever, could still have clicks, chirps. The letters KX added to the RST report indicates steady tone characteristic. Crystal control may appear as 459X. CX or appear as 459CX. Standard abbreviation. Amateur radio, which is commercial telegraph abbreviations, have the adoptive means of same almost any language use abbreviation. Same time table 6.2, the most commonly used abbreviation. Public service operations. Many amateur radio clubs, groups, and nets dedicated to providing their facilities with the interest of public service. In addition, such groups of radio, amateur, civil, emergency services, military affiliated radio service, literally thousands of amateur operators organized as service groups. Radio, amateur, civil, emergency services provided amateur radio operations, civil defense communications purposes only during periods of local, regional, national, civil emergency. Supplement extended other means of communication available. Civil defense organization provided necessary communications with no other means exist. Local radio, amateur, civil, emergency station networks are organized by Civil Defense Authority, are concerned under the immediate direction of the Civil Defense Radio Officer. Such networks include a licensed amateur radio station included with the Civil Defense communication plans are concerned. Abbreviation AA stands for all after, used after the question mark to request a repetition. AB were used after question mark to request a repetition. ABV repeat, or I repeat with figures abbreviated to form. ADS address after the question mark to request a repetition. AR end of transmission. AS waiting period. BK signal interpreted transmission in progress. BN all between and. BQ a reply to the RQ. CS CFRM confirm, I confirm. CL I'm closing my station. CP general caller, 2 more specified stations. CQ general call of all stations. Call sign used to request a call sign. DE use a separated call sign from the station call from the call sign of the calling station. ER here. ETA estimated time arrival. ITP punctuation counts. The punctuation counts. JM means a series of dashes may transmit, maybe a series of dots to stop my transmit. K invitation transmission. MN minutes or minutes. N for no. NIL I have nothing to send you. NW now. Okay, we agree where it's correct. R received. REF reference to or refer to. RP repeat or repeat indication request. RQ SIG signature using question mark to request a repetition. SOS distress signal. TU thank you. TXT text. BA end of work to be sent as one signal. W word or groups. WA word after. W8 word before. In any particular area that may be several of such networks, each network independent of others, whether there is more than network in same area. Also, such networks must be shared with on a single civil defense communication plans, the availability, frequency, and efficiency, orderly manner. Various network adjacent areas may establish proper liaison description arrangements made shall become a part of the respective civil defense communication plan. Such arrangements provide efficiency sharing frequencies, planning for operating procedures designed to avoid mutual interface with the exchange communication facilities on their inter-area basis where needed for such exchange may arise. An authorization to operate station radio amateur civil emergency service will be issued only to a person who holds amateur radio operator's license other than technician or novice class appropriate amateur radio station license. However, the novice class operator can still service provided in the commission rules and regulation. Any station of the radio amateur civil emergency service may be operated by any class of amateur radio operator license issued by the commission with certain provisions. When the operation station is performed wholly with a novice class amateur operator, one such operator shall be prohibited from making adjustments that may result in improper transmitter operation. The equipment shall be designed and installed. None of the operation necessary to be performed during the course of the normal rendition of the services of the station may cause all-frequency operation result of unauthorized radiation. 3. Any need adjustment of the transmitter that may affect proper operation of the station should be regularly made under the intermediate supervision and responsibility of the holder, either with the amateur operator license or the novice class of the commercial radio, telephone, radio, telegraph, first or second class operator. Amateur radio operator interested in the area of public service should contact local service civil events and authority, message traffic, and public service area with a great deal of active third-party message handling. A friend of the acquaintance and another amateur may request their help with the message and traffic. Its responsibility of an operator who accepts traffic of any kind of relay as soon as possible, generally within 24 hours, but no later than 48. The best way to relay a message might be through organized net, especially through unfamiliar third-party message traffic. And net is merely an organization of amateur radio operators, which is each net operating by its own set of rules of some prescribed time, usually 7 p.m. daily. Individual operators check and order area of the net control amateur operator assigned the task, who have more or less shares of activity. Message nets are located in sections and regions. Sections may cover an entire state, region, and entire calling area. A section representative will transmit, receive the traffic through region representative, who turns the operator's relay center through an area net. Area nets usually cover a time zone. Traffic filter backs down to the section nets, which is then transmitted to the addressee. Amateur operator, regardless of the class of his license, can provide public service if it is in one of these nets. The Q signal or QRM generally means a transmission experiencing interference. What is a radio amateur civil emergency service? Radio amateur civil emergency service is a radio communication service carried out by a licensed amateur radio station. These stations operate specifically designated with segments regularly allocated to amateur frequency bands under the direction of authorized local, regional, federal civil defense officials pursuant to void civil defense communication plans. What is a radio amateur civil emergency station? Radio amateur civil emergency station, amateur radio station authorized to operate with a radio emergency civil emergency service for the purpose of transmitting and receiving civil defense communications. Chapter 7, Rules and Regulations.